Hey everybody, welcome back to the RGR channel. The Chiefs play the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, and this is going to be a matchup that I actually really am looking forward to seeing unfold. I think that the Chiefs and the Browns match up very well in terms of the fact that the Browns really like to run the football, but they also do a lot of play action stuff off of it, kind of like the Titans did last year. If they can stop the high volume run game of the Cleveland Browns, this should not even be close in my opinion. But you being able to do that is actually going to be more difficult than stopping Derrick Henry last year, and I'll tell you why. So make sure if you're new to the channel, you're hitting that sub, the like, and the bell notification just for the benefit of everybody. It's for you guys getting everything that Ryan and I do on a weekly basis. So let's go ahead and jump right into the film. Now, the Chiefs are going to have to worry a little bit about some of their playmakers. Now, the Browns don't have a huge litany of playmakers in terms of wide receivers, but Jarvis Landry is still a guy who is going to be more of a possession-based receiver, but you get him in space, and he's able to do some things after the catch as well. You're going to have to be able to tackle because this Steelers team, unfortunately, was unable to do that in this game, and it really showed on tape. And you got guys like Jarvis Landry just making everybody miss in space and doing things that he doesn't normally do for this Browns team. But he's been doing it a lot lately. So he's hot right now. And another guy who is too is Baker Mayfield. And when they're able to allow Baker to get into his 3-step and 5-step drops and be accurate with the football, that's when he's really at his best. And I think when we look at this play a little bit further, we can tell exactly why, because you're going to see Jarvis come from right to left, identifying man coverage. And it's going to be a really simple and it's a quick route. It's just going to be a nice little slant inside, getting him in space with those guys dropping from their blitz look. And that's really what they want to do. They want to allow Baker to work within the offense and be a part of what he does in terms of getting the ball out quickly and accurately on time, things that he does very well. And we all know that this is a return game for Kareem Hunt. Behind this offensive line, he's able to do everything that he does extremely well. We all know that he's a very powerful runner. He's more elusive than people that really give him credit for, and he can slip himself into gaps that a lot of other running backs his size can't do. And it's something that really separates him from other power running backs in the NFL. And the one thing I really want to point out is that the Browns offensive line is so good that number 62 right here was actually on their practice squad last week and was called up, and he's going to take Cam Hayward right here for a little ride and open up this backside A gap with JC Treader coming down this way as well. When you're able to get movement up front with your guys on some of the elite defensive tackles in the NFL that are really good at run stopping, I mean, that's what makes this offensive line so good. And it's what allowed Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb to just destroy every single defensive line. But the big thing about this play is that if you watch this right here, just look at this play. Or, I mean, look at the line. Look at the offensive line. This is 100% like there's no one in the backfield to get at Kareem Hunt. He's now able to do his processing. He doesn't have someone in his face that he did a lot of times in Kansas City, especially in 2018. He's able to go through his gap reads, and you can obviously see this backside A gap just opening wide up. You've got 98 coming down this way, so Treader can just block him off. He's going to slowly work this gap closer, but Kareem Hunt can get in those gaps, like I just mentioned. He's able to do that, and I think that it's one of the most underrated parts of his game, able to slip through gaps like that. Even with the corner coming off the backside, he's still able to do that, and obviously the power to finish to the end zone, something we've seen multiple times, especially from Kansas City's perspective. So the Browns use a lot of their run game to create a lot of play action passes, and things that they do well from the run game just go right into their pass game. They mirror a lot of what they do in the run game with the pass game. A lot of the same personnel looks. They use a lot of 21, 13, 12, 12 and 22 personnels, tight ends, a lot of running backs. That's what they like to do, and it gets teams off their balance. But Nick Chubb is the running back that makes this offense go, and they're able to get a lot of their offensive linemen moving. They use a lot of zone like the Chiefs do, but they also have added a lot of gap concepts this year with the addition of Kevin Stefanski. It's one thing he's done to this offense in terms of the run game that's really opened up everything for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt to get things done on the ground in ways that they couldn't do before. And you're going to see Joel Thuney right here, the right guard, number 77. He's just going to come down and wall off this side here, and their offensive line is legitimately probably the best in the NFL. That's not even in saying. I mean, look at that. This hole again. There's still nobody in the backfield that's able to do this. They get a wall here created. This is all Browns guys, Browns players. You see Hayward trying to get here. But they do this so well. They have a guy blocking downfield, Donovan Peoples-Jones blocking downfield. This gap is so – this is a huge gap for NFL running back. He's able to get up here. And Nick Chubb's a top 5 running back in the NFL. I would say he's probably closer to the top than he is to 5. He's so explosive. He does everything well. He's got great vision. He's able to get through holes like Kareem Hunt does in the same way to squeeze himself through those. This offensive line was built around the run game. And they went out and they added that right tackle from Tennessee last year that's really helped them solidify everything on their run game. So these big plays, they come in chunks and they come a lot. If you can't tackle them, they're going to run these guys in for touchdowns. That's something the Chiefs really have to focus on this week is tackling. Tackling. They can tackle some of these guys in the backfield and not let them get the head of steam. They should be in pretty good condition. But Baker Mayfield, when they've used this offensive production for him, they gotten out of him. They've done a very good job of getting the ball out quickly. Now, this is a good little change up that the Browns used because the Steelers are starting to get some pressure on them. And when you get Baker Mayfield in some pressure, that's when he starts to make mistakes. He starts to miss targets. He starts to throw interceptions. So they did a little bit of counter here. It's just a fun little screen that the Chiefs used like last week 17, where they got Darwin Thompson out on that huge run play. They just did a lot of good job of spreading the ball downfield, spreading the receivers out downfield right here, creating a big gap, obviously taking advantage of nobody really waiting on the zone. The screen pass here, and that just allows Nick Chubb to get in the open field, and that's something you don't want to see. If you see a bunch of green grass in front of Nick Chubb, chances are he's taking it to the house for a touchdown. So you got to be able to tackle, like I mentioned. I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed from these big run plays is being able to tackle. They have to be able to do that. Now we're going to get into some of the real breakdown. So the Browns, like I've mentioned, used a lot of those heavy personnels. And one of the things that they like to do is take their tight ends. They use a lot of 3 tight end sets as well, and they split them out wide. And that still allows them to attack different areas of the field. And one thing that Baker's improved upon this year is his downfield accuracy. This is a really impressive throw over an underneath defender. So we're going to go back real quick here. What the Browns do by stretching the field is they're going to have two outside receivers. This is Harrison Bryant, tight end, just going to run a hitch route, turn around. Higgins is going to do the exact same thing. And now they're going to attack the seams with 2 receivers from the exact same side. You're going to have Landry come up this way, and Njoku, the tight end, is going to come right up, do a little over route and attack this opposite seam. You're going to have Kareem Hunt come out of the backfield here. This is a deep shot that allows them to use exactly what Baker Mayfield does well. He identifies the weak spot where he wants to go with the football immediately, and that's going to be in Njoku. He sees that this defense is going to end up being a cover 3. So you have these corners open up to the inside and give way to that middle of the field area. So it's a cover 3 shell. And that he knows now that there's going to be a soft spot right here where Njoku's going. And that's what really allows Baker Mayfield's accuracy to play into what they're doing. And he's going to fit this right over that dropping linebacker just enough to get it to Njoku, who's going to obviously make a great catch, come down, being hit from the back as well. This is really what they like to do a lot of, and it's something that I've noticed. They take their deep shots out of multiple different sets of formations. We're going to look at that in the next play too, but the accuracy that's really gotten him this far this season is what makes this offense go. I think if they can stop Baker Mayfield and make him go to his second read and go to that third read, that's how they're going to make this game better for their defense. And if you're continuing to see the Browns get the ball out quickly and Baker not be pressured, they're going to put up a lot of points. And this is going to be a shootout, in my opinion. So here's a play that I was talking about out of 3 tight end look. They're going to shift into a fullback situation here, and that's going to really bring up that Ravens defense. You can see that everyone's over the line of scrimmage within 5 yards of the ball. So they're going to take a deep shot here. Baker's clean, actually gets hit right there. But downfield accuracy has improved off of play action. They use a ton of play action. And the one thing that I want to talk about here is they've done such a great job of using their tight ends, their 3 tight end sets. In some ways, they're like the Raiders in the sense that they use a lot of those sets, and they split everybody out wide. They can attack different areas of the field, and you're just going to see Donovan Peoples-Jones here come down the field and just turn out when he notices Peter's looking for an underneath receiver. That's when he stops slightly, and that's what you're going to notice, that Peoples-Jones starts to widen to the outside. Baker does get hit, though, and if you're going to be able to get to him and hit him, you're going to hope that this doesn't happen on all those plays. But that's the one thing here, is you want to get a little bit more pressure early. But you look at this wall of max protect, essentially. They've got 2 guys running routes. You got Njoku coming across here. This is where Peters ends up looking right here at Njoku. So that's what allows Peoples-Jones to get out there. You do get a little bit of hit in the face here, but he's already knows where he's going with the football. He's about to unload it downfield here. So the deep, like I said, the deep ball accuracy is what they're going to have to go and make sure that they can stop Baker Mayfield from getting these chunk plays downfield out of their 3 tight end and 2 tight end sets. You got to be able to fit those run lanes properly, but also know that the shot play could be coming. That's what makes this Browns offense so difficult to defend. And it's the biggest challenge for the Chiefs defense, in my opinion, going into this game, especially without Willie Gay on the field to be able to recover like that. You're going to have Hitchens, you're going to have Neiman, you're going to have Wilson. They're going to have to find ways to fill those run lanes, especially with the 4 down linemen. That's going to be essential to winning this game. Now, one thing that I really think that they're going to be able to do is get pressure on Baker Mayfield. This is a really good offensive line from the Browns, but we just saw Baker make a really good downfield throw. And now here's the exact same type of downfield throw that isn't completed. And it's a little bit weird because you're going to see, again, Donovan Peoples-Jones get loose on Marcus Peters. He's going to get a step on him going downfield. And Baker had to throw this a slight second before he wanted to. They are going to bring a blitz. And that's really going to be what the Ravens do a lot of. And we all know Steve Spagnuolo loves to blitz as well. So they're going to have to find ways to blitz effectively and get into some lanes that Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb aren't in, because they're exceptional blitz pickuppers. And even though this doesn't look like much pressure, you're going to end up seeing it come through here from multiple different angles. And the feeling that it's coming is what makes Baker miss this throw, because he wants to throw this ball probably in another second, and he wants to wait for Peoples-Jones to clear Marcus Peters. But unfortunately, he's unable to do that. So we got to throw the ball now. And he sees him get out there. He needs to lead Donovan Peoples-Jones just a little bit more. And that's going to be a touchdown, I think, because Peters doesn't have that speed to recover back to Donovan Peoples-Jones here. And that's what they're going to have to do a lot of. Games against the Steelers this year, they were blitzing him a ton, and they were able to get a lot of those interceptions, and that's where those big interception games came from. They're going to have to blitz well. They're going to have to get those gaps and make sure that they're occupying gaps that the running backs aren't able to see. They're going to have to confuse Baker, and they're going to have to do everything they can to get to him, because I think that this run game, as we're about to see, is going to get theirs. They're going to be able to run the ball pretty well. I don't think this defense is built to stop this level of creativity in the run game. But if they can get Baker Mayfield to turn the ball over a couple times, or if they can manage to make him miss some of those deep shots, that's what's going to allow them to win this game. And I think it shouldn't be close if they can do that. And you get Baker Mayfield into a high volume passing situation when they can't run the football as effective as they want to, and they can't really take those deep shots. That's where he's at his worst. He's not a good quarterback in terms of going toe to toe with like a Patrick Mahomes or a Aaron Rodgers. But like I said, this run game, it's coming, guys. It's coming. And one thing you cannot do is overcommit on a run fit. You have to get into your holes and know where you're going. The one thing that the Ravens did was they overcommitted. And you can see that Tooney here is getting a wall out on this linebacker. They did a good job of getting the fullback on Calais Campbell, and then they picked up that linebacker that was coming in here. These holes, I'm telling you guys, this is huge. This is the offensive line that's going to do everything for the Browns in this game. If they can continue to do this, you're going to see a lot of touchdown runs because there's nothing here. You've got nobody here. You have an overcommitted linebacker, and Hitchens is going to be critical in this game. He has been hesitant at times, but we've seen more out of him lately in terms of getting downfield into his gaps properly. So that's what it's going to take to stop this run game. The offensive line is just too good. The running backs are just too good. And you're going to see a lot of him tip-tapping his toes into the end zone if you can't fill your gaps properly. So as much as I really like watching this Browns offense, I don't think that they can hang with the Chiefs if they come out and just do everything they did like they did last year's playoffs. That's really what it's going to come down to. If you can get them into some third down situations and make some of their runs not work out the way they want to and make Baker Mayfield uncomfortable, this is going to be how you win this game. And if they don't, then I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. The Chiefs could definitely still win that game, but you're going to see a 200-plus yard game on the ground from the Browns, in my opinion, if that's the case. And that's exactly how they want to win games, and that's how they do win games. So I apologize about the stuffiness. I'm just getting over the cold still, so we're now at the point where I'm getting through and past it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the Browns offense. It's the biggest threat to this Chiefs run in the playoffs is the Browns offensive line. If they can get through this, I don't think that there's a team in the NFL that can stop them. So that's just kind of how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to do a lot more to this going through the playoffs, assuming the Chiefs keep going. Anything you guys want to see, just let me know. We enjoy doing this all the time. We're going to try to work this into our live shows and things like that, breaking down film on the regular for you guys live. So if you guys want to see anything in the live shows, just let me know. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.